States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second. Is there any discussion? How does council vote?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2024? Oh, yes, I did. I'm already doing this. New agenda. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna change things up. We did change things up after the last meeting, and so we've moved the open discussion to a more appropriate place, which allows public comment to speak before we make any decisions on ordinances and resolutions. So at this point in time, I believe there's a sheet at the podium that describes how open session should be handled. There is a decorum that we observe, and there is a clock on the wall. You do have 5 minutes now to speak your comments, and we are going to emphasize that you're only allowed to speak one time at the podium per topic. When you approach the podium, please state your name for the record. Do we have anybody in that public for the open discussion?
Hi, my name is Andrea Tennant. Okay, Ms. Mayor, City Council, when my husband and I met with the mayor in September about the harassment we're getting from our neighbor at 786 Badger Lane, she acted like she completely understood the problem. She even made fun of Justin P. Smith and his lies and called him an unstable person. She said she had a personal relationship with Judge Tahiri, and she would write him a letter in support of a harassment and protection order against Justin P. Smith. Then all communication stopped and she reneged on providing a letter. She also alleges that the harassment is mutual, even though we have hundreds of videos proving otherwise. We don't follow or chase Justin or we go out of our way to avoid him when he goes out of his way to harass us. We don't yell at him. We don't yell at him the second he comes out of his door. We don't call him names. We don't slander him or record him. We don't destroy his property. We even moved our signs like the police asked us, just to de-escalate the situation. And I have some stuff here I would like you to look at. You could look at it and pass it down. There's
We're gonna refer that to our attorney.
Okay. So people are in disbelief that a person can criminally trespass, destroy property, break a temporary protection order, illegally dump, make false reports, threaten people and their minor children, constantly harass and stalk a person, and repeatedly disturb the peace, and the police, mayor, and city council will not do anything to stop it. Leah Juarez said that she would prioritize the residents' concerns when she was running for mayor. How can she do that when she doesn't even have the commitment to talk to them, and they have to attend council meetings to get any communication? And she has also instructed the city prosecutor not to communicate with us. Is this lack of communication even legal?
As the city attorney, I'm going to correct you on that last thing. There's been no instruction by anyone in the administration for the prosecutor not to talk to you. The prosecutor has repeatedly talked to you and found that your charges are not worth prosecuting, ma'am. This has happened again and again. Your problem is what you have is a civil complaint which you will not prosecute in the proper court. If you wish to prosecute your remedies, you need to prosecute them in the proper court.
5 minutes.
I'm addressing what you have stated, which is not correct.
The last time you guys just interrupted and cut me off.
Do you have more to speak on your type
So it's not all just civil. You're not allowed to go around threatening people. We have caught him on camera trespassing, criminally trespassing, because he has been trespassed from our property. He disturbs the peace, he disturbs our neighbors. You could do something, the police could do something.
You could as well. Are you prosecuting action in the civil court, in circuit court or in district court? You're not, are you?
You could do it.
Why aren't you doing something
It's your
if you have
job.
something you feel can meet the lower civil standard? When the prosecutor has looked at this and felt that it does not meet the criminal
Because
burden.
if he believes that that is not our property, then that burden of proof is on him. We have given you tons of proof that it is our property.
And the prosecutor has felt that it has not met the criminal burden. And therefore, what you have, if you feel you have a remedy, is the ability to prosecute a civil action, which you will not. And on top of it, we're repeatedly told that you have an attorney that will back you up, and we repeatedly ask for the attorney to call us. No one ever does.
That cost me money.
Well, you are trying to defend your private property, you say, which is your right to pursue. I'll
We've
stop.
already spent a
but-
lot of money on cameras, a survey. You keep telling us, spend more money, spend more money, spend more money, and we'll do something. And we do it, and you don't do anything. And my issue here is asking, how can the mayor just ignore the people? How is she doing her job if she just ignores them?
Because the Constitution of the United States says that a party charged has the benefit of the doubt. And in the prosecutor's view, your case does not have merit.
But
Therefore,
you're
he
ignoring my
cannot.
question.
I'm answering your question. What you're saying is, why isn't someone prosecuting what you
No,
say
I'm
is
saying,
your...
how can the mayor just ignore us? She
You're
could,
not being ignored.
yes, you want to see all my emails that never get answered?
Ma'am, we have taken this up again and again. The thing is, the city does not believe that it has a case to prosecute here. If you believe you have a case to prosecute, you have a civil action you can, but are not.
Did you listen to the list of things, the illegal
I have, ma'am.
dumping,
They're
the criminal trespassing? We
Ma'am,
have it on video, so it's not allegations.
you have allegations. Mr. Smith has rights. He has allegations. If he came in here, he would likewise have a list of things he says you are doing. You guys have to sort this out in the proper forum, and this is not it.
We aren't doing anything. But you still didn't answer my question about the mayor, and she was starting to
She's
answer
right
it.
here.
I know, but she doesn't answer my emails. She's totally backed off on anything she said she was gonna do to help us.
I have informed you that if I submit a letter in a court or if anything, it's gonna be that both parties need to stop interacting with each other. I've informed you of that. As far as replying to your emails, it's because for some reason what we say you don't like to hear, and so it seems to just be not getting anywhere. I'm sorry that you don't like our answer, but it is the fact. We have gone to the ends of what we have to provide for a civil matter between property owners, personal property owners. We have provided you time with our city attorney, who does not represent you, our prosecutor, who does not represent you. You have spoke with the DA, with the sheriffs, with our police chief. They have all told you the same thing. Just because you don't like the answer doesn't mean that it's not correct. Your interpretation of the law is not the same as the person who we pay to interpret it on our behalf. I'm sorry that you don't like the situation, but there's nothing that we can do. And we have told you time and time again, your avenue is not here. I am not an enforcement body. I have no legal right to arrest anybody. That is not me. That is not my legal representation. I was not voted in, nor do I have any legal right to do that. So if you would like somebody charged, you have to do that on your own. That is not my role as a mayor. My role is to enforce ordinances.
Okay, but you know who Justin Smith is. You know him.
I am informing you all that you need to stop interacting with each other. Your
I
time
have
is
tried
up,
so
and
hard.
we're done talking.
We ignore him. We go out of our way to not see him. And he pursues us.
Your time is
Your
up.
fi-
Hi there, how y'all doing today? My name is Kratos Mark. I am going to be talking about what's going on with that. So now, I know that most of everybody here has a family, has kids, you know, all of your age and whatnot, and adults. Now, I would like to say that, would you like to have your family threatened with gun violence or anything like that? And those rights That's legally not right. If we have to stand our ground, we will stand our ground. But this has just gone too far. I've been with them to de-escalate the situation. They do not talk to Justin at all. And even when my girlfriend, Jeanette Tennant, is in the garages working on her truck, Justin sits outside on his porch and comes to the property line, just on the other side, doesn't come up, but yet he still harasses them. He threatens to kick their ass and beat the kids up. Now, I ask that, is that really something you guys would stand for? I mean, me, myself, I come from a family that does not accept that. We do not accept that kids are being threatened. We will stand for the people that we love and we defend, no matter what the situation is. And I mean, I don't know everything, but I've heard enough from Liz's wife, or Justin's wife, Liz Smith. I used to work with Liz Smith at Texas Roadhouse, and then she left, and she was working at the gas station over there on Loaf and Jug on 12th Street. Liz has said that they've shot Brad's cameras out with pellet guns. Now that is property damage, and I'm willing to say that on record. But yet, still, everything of this has gone too far with Justin. And yet, all they do is work on their stuff. They don't interact with Justin unless Justin is going too far and the police are getting involved. So I'd ask, how would you feel if your family was threatened with gun violence?
Do you believe that that's criminal?
That is criminal because that is threatening a family. That has done almost nothing. As far as I have been there and as far as I've been witnessing and what I've been doing with them, nothing that they have been doing is criminal. But they have been just...
I just want to clarify, the individual who I'm not going to name by name because the situation is growing more and more hostile because the parties will not leave each other alone. So we will no longer identify that person by name. So I'm asking you, the person that we're speaking about, do you believe that shouting from your fence that the skies are blue or that I don't like so-and-so is harassment? And a chargeable offense at that?
Well, no, not necessarily, no.
Okay.
But still.
So it's not chargeable.
It's not chargeable,
So
but
there's
still the
nothing
threatening,
that
the
we
threats,
can
the
do.
threats.
But you understand, right, that there's nothing we can do about somebody who's just shouting. Is it offensive to the party? Probably. I would be offended, but there's nothing that we can do. And we have exhausted this with the Tennant family to the ends that I wish that they would involve you more in, because we have gone to great lengths.
I know, and ma'am, I mean, I would just like to say this. I mean, I know your police, your Mills police are scared to be going.
Sir, they're not scared. What they're trying to do is enforce the law. The police chief is here. Is there anything new in this situation which would give rise to anything that can be charged?
No, no, sir. That's the first I've heard about the camera being shot out with pellet gun.
It's been shot out multiple times from what I've been told by Liz Smith.
Well, that's the problem here, is people are very free about coming in here and saying this happened and that happened, but they're not taking it to the proper parties that could investigate it and charge it if there's a chargeable offense. This is not the police department, and this is not a court. This has been going on for months now, and parties, if they have remedies to pursue, need to pursue them where they can be pursued.
I also know that Mills is also very concerned, and they also they have a very good, safe community over here, and I respect that. But yeah, I mean, I think we should uphold that, no matter what the situation may be.
So what would you have the council do?
Just simply make sure that these guys, they can literally get it on video, they don't do anything about it. And just so that Justin is the cause, that they are the ones that are threatening and
So if
whatnot.
their rights are being offended, would you not agree they have to take them where they can be enforced?
Well, the police have been there, but they don't do anything about
And the police
it.
have investigated it. So we're back here, and individuals do have rights in court outside of law enforcement
I'm
if
aware
they
of that.
wish to enforce them themselves, and they can do that.
I'm aware of that.
I think oftentimes people tend to think that we have the same avenue as a court of law, and we
Well, I'm
do
just
not.
simply saying it's just like a police department. Should be able to do something along with the police officers. They should be able to enforce the law and say, hey guys, just no more threats.
They have looked into it to extent, and there's nothing that they can do. They're not breaking laws as it stands right now. So we've looked into it in great depth, and there's nothing. So I'm sorry. The remedy is through hiring an attorney and pursuing it that way.
Okay.
So I appreciate your time, though.
My name is Jeanette Tennant. I live on Badger. Are death threats illegal?
Not to my knowledge.
Yes, they are. Death threats are illegal.
All right, if you have received a death threat, report it to the proper authorities.
And we have,
This is,
and we have reported it to the police over and over and over and over again. They've seen the videos over and over and over again, but no one's doing anything. Why?
because in their judgment, there's not a prosecutorial offense.
For a
And
death
the-
threat?
And it's very easy to come in here and say, I have a death threat. If you really have a death threat, report it to the police, and the police will follow up on it. People
I
come in
have,
here
and I
and make
don't.
assertions, and then when they're gone out and checked up on, they don't quite bear out. If a death threat has been made, report it to the proper authorities. Are you aware, Chief, of a death threat?
We are not. We have turned countless.
I've showed you guys the
We've
video.
turned countless paperwork over to the DA or to the prosecutor, and he's declined to see any charges come forward.
I was working on my truck.
We're not the police.
No, I know.
If you have received a death threat and are willing to swear in a court of law that you have, because that's what it would require. you
Which I
sh-
am, there's video
This is,
proof of it.
this is not the forum to do it. Take it to the authorities. You are aware you can do that.
Yeah, but if I have and they don't do anything, then what?
What we're hearing is that this has not occurred.
You have not filed, so the recommendation would be to take your claim to the police department tomorrow and make your claim there, which is the proper avenue. We cannot do anything with your
So
claim.
what's that actually gonna do though, if I go and do that?
We'll write the report like we have been in the past since October, and we'll turn it over to the prosecutor. And he'll look to see if there's gonna be charges filed or not.
Most likely not, because no one does anything in those.
I'm not gonna sit here and debate what the process is. You know the process, you've been there and done that.
And we're being harassed by
Yeah.
him right now.
So
Right
now,
now.
if you're gonna speak out of turn, we're gonna cut this comment section off.
You too.
There will be no
Slander us
comments from the
with you.
gallery.
Everybody has a legal right to be here and observe what is occurring. Just being here is not harassment.
He's making a video and
He
talking
can.
and saying, this is the tenants and this is what they're doing.
He has a right to do that.
And I'm just pointing out that he's the one following us.
So the gallery is interrupting the person at the podium. If there's another outburst from the gallery, you will be removed from this venue. If there is anyone else who would like to speak in open comment and public discussion, if you would please approach the lectern.
Chief Smith, was yelling and harassing us.
My name is Justin Smith. I live at 786 Badger Lane. And
Coming in.
I've been to numerous talk of many city council meetings so far, I believe. I've seen my name brought up at least in 3 of them. The harassment that these people are talking about is not happening. I live at this residence. These people have been harassing me and my family for 6 months. When I show up with a bunch of people at his house to intimidate him into selling his home and quashing his First Amendment right to warn people what kind of people these are, then they can say that they have a legitimate death threat. I haven't had people show up at their house with guns. Do you realize that you guys have landlords here in town harassing homeowners to sell their places for dirt cheap so that they can buy them? That's what these people are doing. These people prey on the weak and disenfranchised in our community. And I am not going to be bullied by them. And I am not going to be intimidated into selling my home from you slumlords.
Justin,
You know where to find me.
Right there.
That's all I have.
You drive by my motel all the time.
All right,
Is there anyone else who wants to speak on a different topic? At this point, we're gonna go ahead and close public discussion as long as there's no one else who wants to speak on another topic. Do you have a motion to untable?
I move that we untable ordinance 2024-03.
Second.
Is there any discussion? How does council vote?
We should.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
I move that we approve Resolution 2024-03, the approval and plat of the 257 Business Park.
Is
Second.
there any discussion? How does council vote?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Good news. Got you passed. All right, do I have a motion to approve the bid for the riverfront infrastructure project?
I make a motion that we approve the bid for the Riverfront Infrastructure Project.
Second.
Considering discussion. How does council vote?
Aye.
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 Aye. The motion passes. Do I have a motion to go into the first executive session for a legal reason?
Well, do we have any, is Chicken and
I
Waffles
move-
here to talk?
No.
They didn't come to talk? Okay.
I move that we go into executive session for a legal issue.
Second. How does council vote?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. All council present. Do we have a motion?
And so the motion would be to authorize council authority on a legal matter.
So moved.
Second. How does council vote?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Do I
I
have a
move that we
motion?
go to executive session for a property matter.
Second. How does council vote?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Council has returned from an executive session, property matter, all council is present. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion on the property matter.
So it would authorize a certain amount on a property matter.
So moved.
Second.
How does council vote?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Do we have a motion to go into an executive session for personnel issue?
I'll make a motion that we go into an executive session on personnel issues.
Second.
How does council vote?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes.
It's so much quieter now than it was earlier.
I'm afraid that our story's gonna be about the drama.
Oh,
I'm
you
sure
bet. Yeah, I'm gonna dread reading it.
Oh, sorry.
We're YouTubing.
It's okay, half the time the microphone's on, so. Stop. Too quiet. Does he need beer?
I'm sure.
There's 4 of us.
I had to do that.
No action. Council has returned from an executive session personnel issue with all council present and no action is needed.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
How does council vote?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes.